Yesterday we started with purpose and methods of government intervention. We talked about indirect taxes, how government will use indirect taxes to correct market failure. We talked about the use of subsidies to correct market failure. That was yesterday. Today we need to talk about other methods government use to correct market failure. So one of those methods is maximum prices. So what is maximum price? Maximum price means that you are setting the price below the market or the free market price. That is maximum price. Setting the price below the free market price. So look at what I wrote here. Maximum prices. Market failure occurs when consumers cannot afford the basic needs. These needs, such as food or housing, are positive externalities. As a result, governments may impose maximum prices. Food, clothing, shelter, they are necessities to life. They are needs. We need them in our life. So these things are positive externalities. They are positive. They are going to give us benefits more. But if we cannot afford them, if consumers cannot afford them, it becomes what? A market failure. How is it a market failure? It becomes a market failure because it means that producers are selling it at a price that are exorbitant for us to buy. Do we get the point here? Yes. It is considered as market failure because we cannot afford them. How are we not able to afford them? We are unable to afford them because the prices are so high for us to afford. So that is why it's what a market failure. So it's an example of a market failure. So for government to correct such market failure, government will impose maximum price. So imposing maximum price will mean that the goods become affordable. To make the goods become what? Affordable, so that we can buy. The problem about this policy is that supply will fall due to prices being forced down. The problem about maximum price, when government imposes it, is that firms will not be maximizing profits or revenue. As a result, they will reduce their supply in the market. Do we get it? So let's look at the graph analysis here. Setting maximum price. So the free market price will be at OG. The maximum price will be at OG. That's the maximum price. So if government has to set a price, the government has to set it below at OF. Do you get what I'm saying there? The free market price, that means the price at which demand and supply agrees, is at OG. This is where demand and supply agrees. Yes or no? So this is the equilibrium price. The equilibrium price is at OG. So for government to impose maximum price, government will impose it and it will become what? Below the maximum price. So if the new market price is at OF, what happens? Firms will not be able to produce the quantity supply. Before now, the quantity supply is at OP. The quantity supply in the market is at OP at the price of OG. Government imposing maximum price will mean that the supply will fall. Why? Because at that point in time, firms will not be able to maximize revenue. So what will they do? They reduce the price. Remember in the law of supply, the lower the price, the lower the quantity supplied. So the lower the price from OG to OF, the lower the quantity supplied from OB to OA. Do you get it? So the quantity supply will fall to OA. Quantity supply in the market. So what will this result to? It will result to excess demand at what? AC. Do we get it? This is excess demand. AC. This is excess demand. Why is there excess demand? There's excess demand because the quantity supplied to the market has fallen from OB to OA. Do we understand? So that's why we said here that the problem about the policy is that the quantity supplied in the market will fall from OB, from OB to OA. Then the excess demand, this is excess demand. Why is there excess demand? There's excess demand because the price at which firms have to sell is below the free market price of OG. And when the price is set below the equilibrium price, it leads to what? Excess demand. Do we get it? Do we understand or not? Clear? Great. So, setting maximum price means price will be below the free market price. The free market price is at OG. The maximum price is at OF. This is the maximum price at OF. So firms will reduce their supply to OA. Then there will be excess demand from A to C. Is it clear? So that's about maximum price. Then the next one, another method government would use is called minimum price. So for minimum price, what does minimum price mean? Minimum price means that prices are set below, above the market price. For maximum price, prices are set below the free market price. For minimum price, prices are set above the free market price. Why? I'm going to tell you the reasons why there's maximum price, there's minimum price. There's maximum price because there's positive externality. Due to positive externalities, government wants us to be able to afford those goods. So to be able to afford those goods, prices must fall. Please be here. Do we understand? Goods like food, clothing, shelter, they are basic necessities to life. And if we cannot afford them, it means there's a market failure. For market failure to be corrected, government will impose maximum prices. Maximum prices will lead to what? A reduction in the price from the free market price, which is OG to OF. Immediately, what happens to the quantity supplied in the market? The quantity supply will fall from OB to OA. Then there will be excess demand from A to C. Then, now we go to minimum price. Minimum price is set when there is negative externality. Maximum price is set when there is positive externality. Minimum price is set when there is what? Negative externalities, such as pollution. So look at what I wrote here. Some goods can cause negative externalities. As a result, government will impose minimum price, which means prices are set above the free market price. If you are imposing minimum price, if you are imposing minimum price, it means you are selling above the market price. This is the market price. This is the equilibrium price. The equilibrium price is at OF. The equilibrium price is at OF. At OF, this is what the free market wants to sell. But this type of goods that this free market is producing is causing a negative externality. So if it's causing negative externality, government wants to ensure that they stop producing them. But government cannot stop them. The only way government can stop them is to stop consumers from consuming them. Government cannot stop the producers to stop producing. Rather, government can discourage consumers to stop consuming them. And how will government do that? By setting a price above the free market price. So the free market price is at OF. Government will set the price at OG. So what happens if government sets the price at OG? The quantity supply will increase from OA to OC. Excess supply. Do we get excess supply here? Because the higher the price, law of supply says the higher the price, the higher the quantity supplied in the market, right? The higher the price, the higher the quantity supplied in the market. So why is there excess demand? There's excess demand because the quantity demanded will fall from OB to OA, based on the fact that the price has increased from OF to OG. Do we get it here? Demand will fall from here down here. That is demand. And the supply will increase from A to C. Demand is coming back from OB to OA. Supply is increasing from A to C. This is excess supply. Do we get excess supply here? Yes. Do we get excess supply, please? So excess supply is as a result of what? The price increasing from OF to OG. Government setting the price to OG. So firms must not sell below OG. They have to sell at OG. That is imposition of minimum price. Here, excess supply will come up because quantity supply will increase based on the law of supply. The higher the price, the higher the quantity supplied. But there will be excess supply. The demand will fall. Why? Because prices are rising. And remember the law of demand. The higher the price, the lower the quantity supplied. The higher the price, the lower the quantity supplied. Any question about minimum price? Any question about minimum price, please? No. Great. That's about minimum price. Then go to regulations. Another way in which government, can you stop that, please? Another way in which government corrects market failure is through regulations. What are regulations? Laws. Government will make laws. Government will enact laws. Government will make laws to correct that market situation. So look at what I wrote here. Government can use different laws to correct market failure. The advantage about regulations are as follows. So before we go into these advantages, government owns the country. Government controls the economy. That's why we say government is an institution that comes up with laws to guide the society. Government is an institution that comes up with different laws to guide the society. As a result, government will make laws to correct market failure. What are the advantages of using regulations to correct market failure? Number one, cheaper to enforce. Government will not need to spend a lot of money to enforce or to talk about regulations, about rules and regulations. They only come to the TV station, they publicize it, we all see that, oh, this has become a law, we must not do this, we must not do that. It is cheap to say, because we have to respect government. It is government that is saying it, not me, not you. It is cheaper to enforce because there is no discrimination by government. Please put your mind here. Law regulations are cheap to enforce. Why? Because we all know that government would not discriminate. Government does not support one part and leave another part. Government governs the whole society. So whatever government says that it's a law, it covers everyone. No one is above the law. So since no one is above the law, that means the law is made for everyone. That's why it's cheaper to enforce. Do we understand? Not like somebody is coming up to say, oh, this is what should happen. No, it's the government saying it. Because it's the government saying it, it's meant it affects everyone in that country. Is it clear? Yes. Are you here? Two, easier to understand. So I don't have to explain to you because you already know it is the government of the country that is making it. You have to listen. But what is the problem about regulation? The problem about regulation is that government might not know the kind of regulation to make to correct the market failure. So it's difficult for government because government is not in this situation. Consumers are in the situation that government wants to control. Listen please, there is market failure. Market failure will occur because consumers cannot afford certain products. Yes or no? Governments are institutions. Governments are people that are there through maybe politics. They might not understand economics. And if they don't understand economics, it's difficult for them to understand consumer situation. So, when they come up with different laws, the laws might be too tight or too loose to correct the market failure. Get the point, please. Governments are not entrepreneurs. They are not economists. They are politicians. So they may not have the knowledge about how the economy works. As a result, any law they come up with might be too tight, like too difficult for people to abide, or too loose for people to work with. There might be loopholes. Oh, government makes this law. This law that government makes is just giving us a lot of money. That means too loose. Oh, this law that government makes is making things to become difficult. That's too tight. Do we understand? So government might not know the amount of regulations it needs to make or to enforce to ensure there's efficiency in allocation. So government might find it difficult to understand the level or the extent at which they have to make these regulations to correct the market failure. So look at what I wrote here. It is difficult to know the extent at which these regulations should be used to correct market failure. It might be too loose or too tight. Too loose to the extent that it does not solve the problem. Too tight to the extent that it becomes a government failure. Do we get it?
Yes.
You know, there are some rules that we make. When we make them, people like, what kind of rules are these ones? It's just nothing. It's just like it's getting worse. That is too loose. But some laws we make them, and people become so like they are so shocked. They don't find peace anymore. They don't find freedom. That is too tight. So government might not know the extent at which they have to balance situation. That's about regulation. Do you have any question about it?
No.